Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and this is my 2018 Academy Award predictions. Yeah, as this is a video that definitely has an expiration date on it, I'm gonna go quick. I normally kind of hope I'm wrong about most of these. I tend to sort of be right most of the time when I do polls and stuff like that. I often win them because I am that awesome. I win these sort of things. Not in other things, but in these sort of things. So I'm just going to go down real quick. Yes, some categories are interesting. Some just aren't. So that's cool. Alright, let's do this. Visual effects. I think it's going to be War of the Planet of the Apes because they haven't given a Planet of the Apes movie a visual effects Oscar, at least in terms of these. They have in the old series, but not in this one, and that's a shame, and they should have done that already. Moving on. Costume design. It's going to be Shape of Water. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. What am I talking about? It's Phantom Thread. This is costumes. It's a movie about costumes. Why not? Makeup and hair. Maybe Darkest Hour? Fuck it. Why not? Let's keep going. Original song. Who else could it be other than Coco? I mean, seriously. It's like having a huge classic movie song and a bunch of other songs or something. Like, it's not going to be Greatest Showman. The song from Marshall's just like happy to be nominated. The Mary J. Blige song has a chance. I mean, I don't think if Call Me by Your Name I could see upsetting, but it's Remember Me. Let's just like not even play about that shit. Best original score. This one I could see going in a lot of different places, but I'm gonna go with Shape of Water because I feel like Shape of Water, people are just gonna be like, Oscar voters will do that thing where, you know, when you're like filling out something and you're like, I don't know, I gotta go to lunch, let me just go, yeah, Shape of Water was cool, music was neat. I would like it to be Johnny Greenwood though. I think that'd be nice, but I feel like it's gonna be Desplat, Alexandra Desplat for Shape of Water. Best production design. I sort of feel like Blade Runner could win this one. Blade Runner 2049. That's how I feel. Best sound mixing. I also sort of feel like Blade Runner, but I think Shape of Water could upset. Let's just go with Blade Runner. Why not? Best sound editing. I could see Shape of Water taking this one, but I also think Blade Runner also. So Blade Runner was both those. So best film editing. I sort of just think they'll give this to Shape of Water in terms of films. No, actually, forget that. I think Dunkirk will win Best Film Editing. If you look at the nominees for this one, I, Tonya and Baby Driver are sort of just happy to be there. I wish Baby Driver won out of these, but it's not gonna. Three Billboards ain't gonna win editing. Shape of Water is not gonna win editing. Dunkirk has a lot of things about the editing, is all the different timelines. Christopher Nolan, it's gonna win. Best foreign language film. To be honest, I don't know. This category is weird. Let's like just say Fantastic Woman. Sure, maybe, possibly. I didn't see those, I'm sorry. Short subjects. I don't fucking know. How about that? Best documentary feature. Icarus, maybe? Best cinematography. Alright, so best cinematography is at least interesting. I don't think this is as easy to figure out. You do have a lot of things that could win. I think it's basically down to three. To be honest, I think everything but Darkest Hour could possibly win. But when you really get down to it, who are the people? This one's more interesting. You have Roger Deakins, who's been nominated more times than God at this point. God has never been nominated for an Oscar, believe it or not. Rachel Morrison, who's the first woman to ever be nominated for cinematography. So if she won, she would also be the first woman ever who won for cinematography. Although Mudbound wasn't nominated in big categories, but the record-setting idea of her being at least nominated, I think, will actually help her tremendously. We have Hoyt van Hoytema, who's a great DP and who has never been nominated before for Dunkirk. And then you have Shape of Water that, now that I say it, probably doesn't have a chance. So we're basically to three. I think Deakins, to be honest, if we're really just talking about craft and how well they shot, it should be Deakins. And I think he has a good chance of winning. But I sort of feel like Rachel Morrison could win. And it sort of sucks because Roger Deakins is like one of the greatest DPs ever to ever have held a camera ever in the history of cameras, basically. And so it'd be great if he won. I think it would be great, but I feel like people will be disappointed. Best original screenplay. This is a competitive category. You basically have The Big Sick has no chance in fucking hell. But then you have Get Out, Lady Bird, Shape of Water, and Three Billboards. So whoever wins this, if you're watching it that night and you're like, who's gonna win Best Picture, as you're seeing like things go to everything and like Blade Runner probably win a bunch of stuff, and you're like, wow, maybe they should have nominated that for Best Picture. I didn't like Blade Runner that much personally, but it's gonna win a bunch of technical stuff. Technically wise, Blade Runner was cool. Best original screenplay, I think you could kind of like tip the hat a little bit who could win Best Picture. I sort of think it's really between Get Out and Lady Bird. I don't think Three Billboards would win this. I don't think Shape of Water will, because it seems like they're just going to give Del Toro another award that I'll get to later. But I think my heart wants to say Get Out a little bit, but I'm sort of 50-50. I'm just going to say Get Out. I sort of feel like Get Out was such a movie of the moment. They might over-award it. I could easily see Greta Gerwig winning for this and them going, hey, Lady Bird was cool. And it's certainly more of a screenplay sort of movie that people think of that more than the direction, although the direction of Lady Bird's really great. Actually, let's just go with Lady Bird. Lady Bird original screenplay. Let's do it. Best adapted, I'm sure most people really want Logan to win this, and it's the first comic book movie ever of this era, or superhero movie really nominated for best adapted screenplay ever, and that's a big deal. And you have a bunch of stuff like Disaster Artist, Molly's Game, Mudbound. But when it comes to the only film in this list nominated for Best Picture is Call Me By Your Name. It's also written by James Ivory, who I believe hasn't won before and wrote all those like boring English people movies. I just feel like it's like a no-brainer that that's gonna win Best Adapted Screenplay, and he's been nominated. He's an Academy favorite. It was just too much going for that one. Best Animated Feature. This is an easy one. It's gonna be Boss Baby. No, fuck you. It's Coco. Come on. Like, what's even the point of this? We all know it. It's like, let's stop pretending. It's gonna be Coco. It's not gonna be like Breadwinner or something. Best Director. It's gonna be Guillermo del Toro. This is a little more up in the air. Paul Thomas Anderson's just happy to be nominated. I think it could possibly go to Nolan because it's such a wide open year in terms of categories like this. But I think they're just like gonna go del Toro because they're like, hey, you know, he's cool. He made Pan's Labyrinth. He's a great director. Why don't we just nominate him now while we have the chance? And he's never won an Oscar despite directing Pan's Labyrinth. They probably should have got on that shit like a lot earlier, but whatever. So they'll just give it to him for Shape of Water. It's nostalgic. He's Guillermo del Toro. We all love him. Just go for it. Christopher Nolan can cry himself to sleep at night. Although I could see him winning, to be honest. I really think it's between those two dudes. I could also see if Get Out or Lady Bird are winning, they could do it too, but I honestly think it's really between Nolan and del Toro, and I think del Toro's got the edge. Best Supporting Actress, everyone's saying it's Allison Janney. I would like it to be Laurie Metcalf. I sort of think it won't be Allison Janney and it will be Laurie Metcalf, but supporting categories go a little wild and sometimes give awards to movies that don't really get a bunch of nominations otherwise, and I think Allison Janney kind of has that with her. But I also think Laurie Metcalf is more of a theater actress, which is something that usually reflects the Academy usually really likes. And look at what happened with that guy from Bridge of Spies, whose name I forget right now. He didn't even do any campaigning and didn't like you, and he won. So I think that actually works in Laurie Metcalf's favor. I know it's a little different from what most people are saying, but I think that's true. Best Supporting Actor, it's going to be Sam Rockwell. I like Sam Rockwell. I sort of wish it was Willem Dafoe because he's a great career, but I also like Sam Rockwell. It's really between those two guys, but I think it'll probably be Sam Rockwell. Best Lead Actress, yeah, it's just Frances McDormand. I mean, I sort of could see Sally Hawkins. I sort of can see Saoirse Ronan, but it's Frances McDormand. Three Billboards is going to win like 2 acting things. That's the way it is. Best Lead Actor, it's going to be Gary Oldman. It's just like not even worth talking about any longer than that. Best Picture is interesting actually this year because it's really a toss-up between like a bunch of movies. I mean, you can really just say Call Me By Your Name is not going to win. Darkest Hour is not going to win. The Post is not going to win. Phantom Thread is not going to win. That would be cool if Phantom Thread won. You're really between Dunkirk, Get Out, The Shape of Water, Three Billboards, and Lady Bird. Three Billboards did win the BAFTA, and I think a lot of people are like, I don't know, that could win. I sort of don't think that way. I also sort of don't want that to happen, but I don't think that's going to happen. And so we're just between like Get Out, Lady Bird, Dunkirk, and Shape of Water. I actually sort of think Get Out could do it because it would show that the Academy is 1, not racist, and 2, doesn't hate horror movies. It seems like they actually nominated 2 films that are a little more horror inclined, but I think it'll probably be Get Out. It could really go either way. I could see them kind of like splitting the difference, and enough people liked Dunkirk because it was really good that it sort of worked out for it. I could see that happening, but I sort of think it's going to be Get Out. So this is going to be a lot of spread out awards this time. I don't think you're gonna see somebody, you know, they're not gonna be like, this guy won 7, he won the most. It really doesn't matter which one won the most. I don't see why people give a shit about that, but I could honestly see like Get Out winning just Best Picture and Best Screenplay. Anyway, so those are my Oscar predictions of this year. I will have a video telling you my reaction to the Academy Awards themselves the day after the Oscars. So check out for that, and check whatever. Yeah, I hope this video was sort of entertaining in the week that you watched it, or you can watch it later and be like, man, Jim was so wrong, and I'll be like, sure, predictions are often wrong. That's why they're predictions. Why don't you predict what you think about the Oscars or some crap, and someone can make a Monster Trucks joke or something like that. I don't know, who cares? Whatever. It's the Oscars nominations. Subscribe, comment. Peace out. I'm gone. It was Jim.